Everyone, my name is Miguel Infante, and I'm here with my team, with Joseph and Connie for the LOC, for the negative, for the College for All Act against the affirmative. So let's begin. Okay, so first off, I want to point out that the positive has made some good arguments, and yes, they have made good arguments regarding COVID, and they have made good arguments regarding how free college for all would affect everyone and how it would be a positive. And yes, I like the fact that they put out that they said that right now in COVID, it is going to be a tremendous limelight, so to speak, in a sense where college for all would help people because the stimulus check isn't coming in. Stimulus checks and people are out of jobs and in disadvantage. But with that being said, I want to point out the fact of the matter is this, and the fact of the matter is that this is a downfall. Yes, there may be a half and half side of the positive and negative, but I want to point out the negative side and where this can fall. There's a good chance and there's a good side and a bad side of this. The positive side is pointing out that yes, people with like low income families and things of that nature, they're able to afford college and everyone's able to go to college. But at the end of the day, if you're able to go to college, there should be a downfall. There should be a downfall to it. I mean, if you don't pay for college, there's got to be a downfall, and there's a downfall to it. The downfall I'm going to point out here is this. The downfall I want to point out, is the fact of the matter is the student loans will increase. And when I say increase, people will say that, if this was a positive thing, the student loans wouldn't increase. This would be a free college for all thing. People wouldn't increase the taxes. Well, wrong. The student loans would increase, and along with that as well, property tax would increase. Yes, property tax would increase. And how will that affect the economy? How will that affect overall? Well, let me tell you how that would affect. See, property tax is meant to pay. See, we're in the United States. We're in the United States where we have to pay for everything, and money is money. People talk for money, and that's how the U.S. works. With that being said, if people went to college for free, there would be a downfall for property tax. There would be a downfall on the student loans increase. There would be a downfall on that side, because here's the thing that we got to point in here's the thing we got to point in the nature and put into perspective is that if we don't have property tax, and these property taxes will increase, they will increase because you have to pay the property taxes with the surrounding buildings in that area of the school. Along with that, you have to pay surrounding taxes in surrounding areas in that neighborhood. See, if, for example, if we went to college for free, then who would be paying for the building? Who would be paying for the surrounding area and the surrounding environment that we were able to learn in? The people that are in that neighborhood are in that area where the college is. And that's where the property tax is coming from. So it would increase. Also, with that being said, I want to point out that the teachers also involved with the limited amount of resources that they're going to get from the Free College for All Act. Is what I'm saying is that they're going to get limited amount of resources, and they're not going to be able to provide the full potential on their students and teach them well enough. And with that being said, you have teachers that have went to Harvard, Stanford, or wherever to get their degree, and they are trying to provide the best way they can. But if they're giving limited resources and they're getting their funds cut from it, then it's a downfall for only the teachers and the students as well, because the students aren't going to get their beneficial learning curve from what they expect and what they want at the end of the day, because the teachers aren't able to teach them as well as they should be. With that being said, I want to point out here what we have for slug. Now, for the disadvantages here, is our slug is this. Yes, college would be free for everyone, but that'd be great. But the U.S. would go into debt. Now, here's where slug is. Economy changes drastically. The citation we got from this is collegepropter.com. Now, the highlighted evidence we have is that if America were able to move to a tuition-free college policy, where would the money come from? The short and simple answer is taxes. Who get taxed and to vary based on who is talking, but it seems certain. But the upper echelons of American society would see the increase in taxes if this passes. Like I said, the taxes would increase tremendously because everyone needs to pay for it. Everyone would need to pay for it because this is where the money's coming from, even though it's considered free. With that being said, the disadvantage here, the second slug we have is this. It would be too much for a competition. For a limited number of jobs, it would cause chaos. And we got that from the smartassets.com for free college. Citation contention 2 is why basically the harms here is this. The citation we get from this is businessinsider.com. Now, I want to point out why the affirmative is wrong. The affirmative is wrong because they're wrong because unfortunately both Democratic candidates plans pose a risk to our international trade and education and offer a major reason why the U.S. shouldn't rush into correcting and tacting a free college system. Now, the highlight evidence we got here from the BusinessInsider.com, Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, free college for all is a bad idea. Foreign students at the undergraduate level. The focus of the free college, about 4,746 out of 16.8 million students were international of the 2.6 total. Now, with that being said, I want to point out that the international students in this study, they want free college, but at the end of the day, at the undergraduate level, there is only a 2.6% of the total in the international total poll of this free college study. Now, with that being said, the second harm argument we have is they're wrong because the New York residents will now be able to flock in droves in institutions that are already overcrowded and that produce dismal results. The default rates are on student loans at the New York public universities and the college rates were 9.3% for the 2012 cohort, and the completion rate of the New York community colleges is only 20.6%. Now, with that being said, 20.6%. So the citation we got here is from the Norton Free College Bad Idea. Now, 20.6% isn't a lot. It's not a lot at all. That is barely making it. That is barely below the minimum of the completion rates of the graduating students that are in college. Now, with that being said, if we really think about it, this is a bad sign because if the teachers aren't getting paid, if the teachers are getting low and enough and not getting paid at all for what they have, and students are barely completing or graduating their courses to get their degree, it's a bad sign overall because at the end of the day, free colleges, you would expect that the students would be able to complete their assignments, but no, they're not graduating. So thank you for your time.